Hello, music listeners and audio fans. My name is Gavin. I am the Audiophile wannabe. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's episode. We are going to talk briefly about power cables. Do power cables make a difference? Let me tell you, in my fairly recent experience, I would say with a lot of confidence that power cables are probably one of the best kept secrets when it comes to improvements in your audio system. Now, recently, as some of you may know, if you've seen any of my other videos, I recently acquired a Prima Luna Evo 300 all-tube preamplifier, which is an absolutely amazing preamplifier. Highly recommend it. Has made a wonderful addition to the system. And one of the gentlemen at Upscale Audio, where I got the tube amp, talked me into a Cardas Parsec power cable, which is a great power cable. It's right here. I have two power cables I'm going to show you guys today. So let's see. This is kind of weird, just doing a little show and tell. But this is the Cardas. I think that's how you say that. Parsec power cable. As you can see, it's got a very robust connector here on one end, the male end, and then the female on the other. This is my first show and tell, so I'm not doing too great. But anyway, that can give you a little picture of what this cable looks like. It's a very thick, good-looking cable, the Parsec, so I'll show you that one. But today, the reason I'm doing this video is because today I got a GR Research, the B24 cable. So you can see this is a little bit thicker, really good connectors on both ends. As you can see right there, you can see that high quality copper on this end. And the Cardas Parsec is a great cable. Did a great job with that Prima Luna. I'm actually going to use that one now in here. So I'm going to take off the power cable that I got off Amazon. I'll put the Parsec over there with the Cambridge Audio CXN V2. I know that's going to make a great benefit there. But let me tell you that Danny's cable, that GR Research B24, put that in this evening, and whereas the Parsec cable made a significant difference in the clarity and the space between instruments and vocals on everything within the soundstage, this B24 cable from GR Research made even that much more improvement over the Parsec. And the price of these power cables are very comparable, but it just blows me away that once you get a real soundstage, a legitimate soundstage set in your room, in a or living room, bedroom, wherever, just your listening room, wherever you have the opportunity to set up a soundstage, once you get that set and you do some kind of room treatment to whatever degree you can, but you've got that opportunity to hear the benefit that interconnects make, speaker cables, and power cables. This is why I'm saying that, in my humble opinion, power cables are one of the best kept secrets when it comes to upgrading your stereo system. The difference that this cable made. Now granted, I've got Danny's cables in my other components, but I hadn't put one on the Evo 300. And when I went to this one, it's like with each cable, power cable, there's one layer on top of the other as far as the amount of space that opens up in the room. And so I'm going to start off just with an explanation. Most everybody's familiar with Dire Straits, the song You and Your Friends. So several years ago, when I became acquainted with the song, I hadn't yet made significant improvements to my system, and I didn't hear a lot of reverb or especially echo on Mark Knopfler's electric guitar once he starts in with the electric guitar. But now that I've made some improvements to the system, have a soundstage now, once I added this B24 cable, power cable, to the system, the space in the room that Mark is playing in, Mark Knopfler, the perception of what I'm hearing, his room opened up even more to where all of a sudden, I could hear this with the Parsec, but I was starting to hear echoes from the electric guitar work, which I hadn't really previously heard that much. But once I put in this B24 cable, the number of echoes that I could hear ping-ponging back and forth Well, actually, it was more like one or two here, then a couple here, and then you could hear them fade to the back. And maybe that's just in the room, so I don't know if it didn't really sound like it was mixed in that way, but the perception is clearly discernible as to the number of echoes that cascaded across the room, side to side, and to the back. So the dimensionality that this cable brought to the table was clearly discernible. So it's a little bit of investment. Once you go this route, investing in cables, it does cost a little bit to get your system where you want it. However, the benefit is truly there. So if you have, again, the soundstage to do this with, the potential for discerning it and hearing it is going to be there. But you got to start there first. So again, the room itself is going to be the primary component in your system. And that being said, you want to get your room right. Then you can start hearing these other little benefits once you add those. But the B24 made a big difference. That's just one example. There's another example. Looking on my phone right quick. Keep forgetting the name of this band. Different group called Public Service Broadcasting. If you haven't heard them, there's a song that they did called The Other Side, which is really neat. They sound kind of like a rock band, pop rock, something like that. But they take a lot of snips. And in this case, they took some of the vocal snips from an Apollo mission. Had a lot of neat drums and guitar work in the background. It was kind of playing along, creating a mood to go with the Apollo mission that they had the vocals for. And when I first started listening to this song 6 to 9 months ago, before I had done any cable improvements, the size of the vocals that I was hearing, the size of the vocals in the room were maybe about yay big. If I could define with boundaries where the center image was in this song, it would have been somewhere about a yard across between the Forte speakers in my listening room. So if you go back some of the other videos and look at the listening room, you can see about a yard across between the speakers. That's how big that the perceived center image was. But as I got the Parsec cable and the Evo 300, it expanded a little bit. But with this B24 cable, that center image alone expanded to the width of the speakers. So just a little bit, maybe even past the edge, the outside edge of those 14.1 speakers. So the center image increased in size that much. And not only that, but I could, some of the background chatter in that song became more discernible. Really amazing improvement. Okay, last example for just noticing the difference that this cable brought. There's trying to remember all this. I've been listening for the past couple of hours and just really got excited noticing if you can't tell. And so I just want to do a quick video. May not even do a lot of editing on this thing, so I have no idea how this video is going to turn out, but that's okay. You can leave me comments if I need to improve something. But there's a band called London Grammar. They did a song called Hey Now. Female vocalist. The vocals wanted to focus in the same way on the Mark Knopfler song that I could hear the echoes increasing across the room. In this song, the reverb decay increased noticeably. There's a significant amount of dimensionality or space. Spatiality. That's not really a word probably, but anyway, spatiality. The spaciousness perceived in this room is noticeable. There's a lot of ambience. It sounds really cool, but once I put in this cable, the time when it was just when you could hear just her singing, and then she would get through singing a particular word, and there wasn't much instrumentation, you could hear about 3 seconds worth of decay as before something else kicked in at that time. So there was a very discernible amount of vocal decay that was just cascading across the back and the sides of the room that I couldn't hear before. And so when you get those kind of benefits out of something, it's really exciting, and you just want to explain that. So or share it, not really so much explain it, just talk about it. So that was kind of the purpose for this video tonight, was just to reiterate that power cables do make a difference. And I hope if you get the chance to try something like that, again, please do yourself a favor, set up a soundstage. If you're going to try something like this, if you have your speakers on a bookshelf, and nothing wrong with that whatsoever, but if you're trying to get that kind of improvement and add something like this, you're probably not going to hear a big difference. So just throwing that out there so you don't potentially be disappointed if you go that route. But once you get that soundstage going, do something like this. Amazing benefit. So again, just a shout out to Danny and his products. Again, no affiliation there or anything. I just tried some of his products and had really good success. If you're looking for a good power cable, he's got another one. The hang on one second, is the B16. So give his website, GR Research, a check it out, and let me know what you think. I'll share a link to his website below. Didn't put up any pictures, just did a little show and tell. Hope you like it. If you've gotten this far, thank you so much for tuning in today. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Take care.